Forgiveness is not the same as justifying people's reasons. Just because you know someone's reason for being the way they were, whether it was a person who wronged you, or um, whether, you know, you let yourself and your guard down and decided to trust someone, and because of their story, you know, the whole trauma bonding thing, right? Um, that doesn't mean when they have hurt you because you understand their story that you've forgiven them. There's typically a loss and a grieving, and it can be really fast in terms of emotions, like what's happening, what went down, because it was painful, like physically painful. And when that pain subsides, you think that you've forgiven, right? You've forgiven that moment, that accidental little baby hits you in the face or something like that. That's easy. That's simple forgiveness. Complicated, really tough forgiveness comes when you can actually look at the situation and not be triggered by it. If you're still feeling the emotional response, or it has affected how you make decisions today, or how you allow yourself to play and be in that childlike wondrous state, then guess what? It's still with you. You haven't forgiven it. So I really suggest getting super deep with it and letting yourself forgive so you can move forward, because that's what we're here for, baby. To enjoy life, to enjoy this moment, to forgive. I'm not saying forget. In fact, I'm gonna tell you, real talk. I honestly do not forgive. Why? Because I store so much in the body. I always remember. But what I do, instead of forgiving, is I grieve. And I become anew. I allow myself to be reborn in this moment with new purpose. I'm not a vengeful person, but if I were, actually, I can't even go there. Can't even go there emotionally, mentally, because I'm not here to store somebody else's pain or anguish or whatever it is they're pushing at me. I'm just here to help you enjoy your life more so that you can be more present in your day-to-day experience. Actually, that's not true. Do I forgive? Think about this. It's not that I forgive, it's that I observe, I understand, I overstand, I understand, and I see how that played out and what my part was in it. And then I evolve into the next level. And I'm not de-evolving. I'm not suddenly saying, I'm going to become a vengeful person or a sad person or whatever. I actually remain happy because I deserve to have a happy life. I deserve, and you deserve it too. You deserve a happy life. Man, these pants, I don't know if I like them yet. Sitting down, I just gotta work on my stress level. Having had to mother singly, which wasn't my plan in the first place, but I had to do it out of necessity. Do I forgive that? No, but I've evolved into understanding what it means and doing it because it's necessary, and I wear it and I move through it. Will I always be a single mom? No, but at this moment in time and what I went through, I'd rather be a single mom than an abused one. I'd rather show my son a life of independence and knowing that we can do this versus staying under a person who didn't allow themselves to move forward or evolve or forgive their mother, right? So, in light of Mother's Day, I just want to say that moms aren't going to be perfect. Humanity isn't perfect. But as long as they did their best, as long as they showed up for you, some people get abandoned, and that's a deeper wound to heal. Some people, they have to integrate the suffering to redesign who they are and their character. And I did that, you know. I went through my process because of what I went through with my own mother. We all have our processes of growing and changing and evolving, and whether we feel safe and comfortable in these situations. And the truth is that there's so much to grow. There's so much to evolve. And as a parent, I always understood that we are the bows and our children are the arrows, and they're going to go further than us. They're going to be more advanced than us. But that means it involves kind of honing in on who they are as a person, helping them have a standard that we uphold as, you know, attentive, progressive parents. Because ultimately, if your child is racist, is willing to sacrifice others, or if they're selfish, that has to do with your parenting. So if you yourself are selfish, let's look at the parent's role. If you yourself are in survival mode, maybe your parent couldn't protect you. Maybe they couldn't set you aside and apart and let you feel your worthiness and your claim to your space or your humanness. I wouldn't say forgive them. Oh, they grew up in an abusive home, or maybe grandpa, you know, molested them, you know, all kinds of stuff. That is not an excuse for them to mistreat or abuse or neglect or abandon you. Oh, society does this and that was the time. It doesn't matter. You made a mistake, you made a mistake. I ask for forgiveness all the time because I'm not perfect. From my child, yes, that's right. From others' children, that's right. And I get it, but I evolve. And that's part of the forgiveness. When you forgive yourself, you evolve and change your habits. If you don't forgive yourself, you keep punishing yourself, you keep numbing out, you keep checking into someplace else because you think someplace else is better. Or maybe you compare yourself and start to mask with material items and things like that. It's not going to change the core fundamental integration of, did I actually evolve and move forward? Did I learn the lesson? Let's say you were abused or neglected. Does that mean you abuse yourself or neglect yourself? Does that mean you abuse others or neglect others? Most likely, on a subconscious level, you are. So when you want to heal yourself and make the world a better place by doing so, you realize it's not necessarily about forgiving, right? To let them off of the hook of it. It's to let you and your heart and your physical body off of the punishment scale. Because if you're not punishing, or you're not seeking justice or vengeance, then odds are pretty good you might have evolved, you might have moved forward. Just understanding them doesn't mean that you've actually integrated the new level. And the new level doesn't need to forgive. It actually needs to process and release and understand its value and its reason for being. Because when you're in the state of passion and you're in the state of your mission here, right? Your mission here on the Earth ship, it's typically to be of service to others. But that service to others must also serve yourself. I read something the other day about how self-sacrificing is the key to love. That is some baloney. Sacrificing. You never sacrifice. You voluntarily give. I wasn't sacrificing myself when I breastfed my child for 4 years. I voluntarily gave to him because I know that that was my job, that was my duty, that was my honor. Because time is finite. Him drinking milk from my breast is a short period of his life. And it's my honor to be there and to support and give him as much nutrients as humanly possible. Now, does he need to forgive me because I stopped breastfeeding him, or did he evolve? He grew. He had teeth. He had a tongue. He had a mouth that worked. And he knew how to ask and speak and create and bring food to his own mouth. So it's worth it to take the time to realize what you need to forgive, what you're holding onto, whether it's self-worth or self-value, or if you're having an issue letting go of anger or feeling abandoned. Because we can only do these things to ourselves. They're our personal emotions. We could try to spread them in a subconscious way, being cruel and unusually, distant, or, whatever we check out with ourselves. We do. And as soon as you acknowledge that, then you have the opportunity to change. And that change is the forgiveness. It's just like when someone says they apologize, right? It's not the apology that means something. It's the act of changing the behavior that is the real apology. It's the real penance. It's their evolution to being better, right? So as you step into this newfound way of being, realize you don't gotta forgive them, but you do need to evolve to the next step. Was I naive? Did I play into it? Did I self-sacrifice because, I was maybe mistreated? I can rationalize it all I want, but what's the next step? Okay, I choose people who choose me. I choose to be present. I choose to love myself. Let's say you talk negatively to yourself. Why am I punishing myself? How can I forgive? I don't think I'm gonna forgive myself. I think I held on to this ideology that I wasn't good enough, that I needed to talk down to myself to what? Motivate myself to do better? But is talking down to me motivating me to do better? Or is just me doing better, me doing better? Is me doing better helping me enjoy my life more? Is me doing better helping me have a better community and a better communication with people? So, yeah, sometimes things aren't perfect. Sometimes the tripod breaks and you're on a lean. But I understand that sometimes that's it. Sometimes that's life. And we dance with it. We work with it. So when you see all of these chaotic, terrible things happening in the world, I want you to realize that, you know what? They may never be able to forgive each other. In fact, the world may never be able to forgive certain concepts or countries, but can they do better? Can we do better in helping others every day? Can we do better not contributing to these corrupt communities that are destroying other people's lives? I think so. I think we can make a conscious effort to pull back, take time, and forgive. So anyway, to forgive. Forgive. Forgive meaning evolve. So we can pull back, take time, and evolve. Yeah, I guess I don't forgive, but I do better. You know, I could take this moment and beat myself up for not saying the perfect thing and not having the perfect edit and blah 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 and not having the but you know what? I'm here with purpose to help people have a different perspective of reality. I'm here to show that things aren't supposed to be perfect. In fact, they're supposed to be wild. In fact, they're supposed to be leaning on Jesus. Anyway, I think that's all I'm gonna say for now. But thanks for listening. Anyhow, ciao.